Hi guys, I'm going to be showing you today how to create a simple and exterior rendering in Corona Render. This very video is for beginners, the people that want to know how to find their way around Corona Render. If you notice, the model was actually done in Revit. It's quite simple model, but it's so unique because it's just the way it is. But the major thing is that we use Revit for most of our works because it is easy to use and it helps us to quickly put idea together, and majorly we do design as well. So it helps us to manage both 2D and 3D together. That is just why we used Revit. So after you are done with Revit, of course, you will bring it to 3D Max, and in 3D Max you can see we try to create a kind of environment. We put buildings, all around trees, and many of these trees are generated with forest park, and also the grass was generated with forest park as well. We just try to mimic something that is relatable. So after that, the next thing was to place the camera. Of course, the cameras are Corona cameras that we just placed. We didn't change any setting on it. We just placed it and we set the frame. So this frame is like this. We have another frame, which is this right here, but we are not seeing it yet. So let's just go to the major frame that we need to work on, which is the actually camera 3. So now that we have this and we have set our environment, so the first thing to do actually is to never forget to change your render setup to Corona, because if you import Revit, it will always be inventory, except if you are using the version of 3D Max that does not have inventory again, maybe 2018 or 2019. So, but now we are going to just change to Corona render, and we have different tabs, common tabs now. This is quite very important, the output size. So we set this output size to 1200 by 1800. That one works well for us, and the scene, everything is just like this. One of the things that Corona developer says is that you don't have to tweak anything. You don't need to do anything. You just need to start rendering, and that is the what people like most about Corona. So now, if I just click on this icon here, which is start interactive rendering in Corona VFB, what it means is that it will start interactive rendering in Corona Frame Buffer. Let's just wait for it. It is about to start. So now as it starts, you can see that everything uh, is falling. Corona is going to try to complain that the object, right? Yeah, this is the complaint, that the objects that we have in our scene, the materials on it are not supported. So what can we do? It's quite simple. What we can do is just close and come back to the render setup here. In the render setup, just click on material override and click in front of it, which is none. Then you use a material Corona MTL to override everything. So when you use the Corona material to override everything, this is what you are going to have. Everything is dark, so there's no light in the scene. So how do we put light in the scene? We are going to be using HDRI for this. The HDRI that I'm using was gotten from HDRIalbum.com. I'm not a fan of HDRI, but I find this HDRI to be really interesting, and this is it. So for the final render, I'm going to be using the 16K, but for light test, just to test the light, I'm going to be using the 1K resolution. So I have both of them here. You can see KR4 mid morning, 1K. So I'm just going to drag that. But instead of dragging it, I'm going to right click here. I'm going to choose map. I'm going to choose Corona. I'm going to choose Corona bitmap. Corona bitmap will lead me to where I can get my bitmaps, and I'm going to just locate it on my computer, and I think I have it now in my downloads. And you can see we have this 1K resolution. This is the one we'll finally use for the that's not this. This is the one we'll actually use for the final render. But let's just pick the 1K resolution. And for now we ask us all this. I'm just going to click OK. I'm not changing anything. So this is the 1K resolution. So how can we use it? You know, unlike inside V-Ray that you will create a light and put it inside, in Corona is quite simple. So all you need to do is to minimize that and come to rendering, choose environment, or you can just press 8 on your keyboard to bring it. So in order for us to see how it works, I'll reduce the frame buffer. So I'll just drag this from Corona bitmap. I will just drop it into the environment slot, and that is it. So it will automatically be changed to environment map. And you can see we have spherical environment now, and this is the way it looks. And if you notice, I actually like the way it looks. I didn't change anything. You can see that's the way it looks, and I'm okay with it. But in case you want to change the rotation, so you can just click on the bitmap, even you can preview it, right click, open preview window, so that you see the way it looks. So you can change the degree, 10 degrees. So we'll be seeing the live updates, not 10 degree, 15, 30. So the sun will be moving, and you can see the way it is moving here. So until you get the position that you like, and I think this one might want to work, or it looks like if I put it on like 25, you can just play with it anyway. So that is just the way it works. So, and I think I like this now. So it's totally different from what I have here, but yet it's cool. So I can drag it like this. So, and that is how to create the lights. Now, normally in V-Ray tutorial, I always teach, okay, if you want to use it, you need to use this camera setting and all that. But you can actually not bother about that. You can just come to post here. Post help you to do some major post production on it. So the exposure value, I can put it on 5, for example, and you can see how illuminated the scene is. If I put it on 2, if I put it on, if I think 2 is okay for me, but so many areas are overexposed, I can come to highlight compression and begin to think reduce the overexposure on the image, and you can see I have bright image, but yes, I'm reducing the overexposure. So I put it on 10, and any value after 10 does not make sense because you will not see a significant improvement on it. On this, I think I left it at 1 here, and this about maybe 1 or 2 as well. So I have something strong like this. So it's quite simple and easy. You don't have to be a guru to actually know how to do this. And that is just about lighting for you. If you have any other thing you want to do about lighting, of course, you can go ahead and do it. But this is quite simple and straightforward in how to use Corona lighting. Of course, if you don't want to use, what if you don't want to use HDRI? Like I said, I'm not a fan of HDRI like that, but in this case, I find it very, very interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the displays and choose Corona Sun, drag it. So that's the way it works. I put that there. So of course I can change the rotation to whatever I think is okay for me. So if I do that, you'll see that there will be some kind of conflict right now with Corona Sun and the HDRI. I've seen a lot of people using both HDRI and the Sun together, and I cannot say that it's wrong, but it is not useful in all situations. You need to understand the situation that is making you to use it. So in this case, I'm not going to use them together, so I'll pick the Sun, come to modify, and I'll click add Corona Sky environment. So it is telling me that there is a map in the environment, which is the HDRI that we added. So I'll click that it should replace it. So now, let's see what we have. So we have the Corona Sun now. You can see that the Corona Sun is quite crazy, everything is blown out. So let's try and put 10 here first. You can see, even though we have our highlight compressed, our overexposure is reduced, but yet the image is still not looking good. So I can actually put this exposure on 0, or let's say -1 or -5. Oh, -5 is quite too much, so let's put it on like -2. Okay, I think -2 is okay. And I can begin to actually set it and try to find a perfect place for my Sun, so that I'll see something cool. But it all depends on you. One of the things I'm noticing here is I don't have a sharp contrast, unlike the HDRI. So if you want to have a good contrast, you can actually set the contrast value here. So let's set it to like 5. Now you can see we have something similar. So whichever way you are trying to use, none of them is bad. Okay, that is too much. So you just play with it. It's actually interactive, and that is one of the things I like about it. So now I'm going to go back to the HDRI because that is actually what I used. So delete the Sun. If I delete the Sun, actually you will still see that we have illumination coming only from the sky. So this also really helps if you want to do evening kind of setup. You can use only the sky to actually mimic that. That is really, really nice. That is cool. And of course, you can do that in V-Ray as well. So now let's just go back and go to the exposure control and add the sky from the HDRI. And now we should not forget what we did, which is actually 1, 2, I guess. I think this is on 0. Oops, sorry, this is on 1. Okay, this is on 1 as well. I think this is on 1 as well. Okay, you can see everything is okay. I like compression now. I can actually put it on 2 or even 5. Okay, then put this on 2. I think I'm okay with this for now. If I have to change anything, I can change it while I'm rendering. So that is just the basic lighting setup. So we need to just move to the material. Looking at this time now, I think this tutorial is going to be more than 1 hour. So just let us see what we can do. So for this, maybe what I'll do is to stop this tutorial right now just for the lighting, and in the next session we are going to be looking at material so that the tutorial will not just be too long anyhow. So one of the things I also want to tell you is that if you notice while we are rendering, we are not seeing some details, but everything looks smooth. It is because Corona by default is using NVIDIA denoiser, which helps you to quickly remove noises from your scene so that you will see clearly. And this is what they call loop development. So before I stop as well, I'm going to just stop the interactive rendering and quickly show you how you can just quickly create a pavement with gravel with Forest Park if you are not familiar with Forest Park before. But if you are familiar with Forest Park, of course, this will not be an issue for you. You already know how to do it. So a space is left here. If I pick this floor, I can just isolate it. So I left a space here for actually the gravel. So I can just come into the 3ds Max command panel here, pick shapes and just click lines. So I'm going to press shift and just start. So put it here, put it here and here. So it formed a close spline. And also I'm going to create another rectangle. Just put this one by the side for now. We are going to see what we want to do with that. Now you can come IT software Forest Pro. Then you select. Of course, I loaded some of my Max 3 model into Forest Park, but by default you should have some of the presets. So gravel, I like to use this. I don't know why. I just like the blend of colors on it. Of course, if you want just a white one, you see them here. But I'm going to be using this. So just select this, click OK because I'm using millimeters on my computer. So the unit is quite different. So now it generates that gravel for us. Now the next thing to do is to work with this. I'm just going to apply a flood generator on this. So you see the way it looks now. I'm going to place it here. Let's see how big I want it to be. So I don't want it to be too big. So if I come back to the rectangle, I can actually reduce it to like 1.5. Okay, so I want it to be 1.5. So let's go back to the flood generator. So here I'm going to put 1.5 and we are not seeing it well. So let's come out. The offset, the minimum offset, I will put 0. So there's no offset. The width, I'm going to put like 600. Let's see, 750. Then we use grout. So for the grout, I'm going to put 100 mm. Let's use 300. Okay, 300 mm is okay for me. And actually, let's say like maybe 350. Okay, 350 is okay. I'll also work on the extrusion. Extrusion is 1 right now. If you look at it, it's quite flat. So I'm going to click extrude and put it 50 mm. You can see now. The bevel, I'm going to use 5 mm or even 10. So I have that. I can just move it in like this. You can see. So I can leave it that way, or better still, I can pick the forest park and come to area here. So I'll just click add a new object, and you can see this is object. It means that if I pick a solid object like this, it will be excluded. So I'll just pick it, and it's trying to say I should use camera clipping. I'll click no. So now if I move it out, in and out, it doesn't seem like it's changing, but let's see. We already have this, so it will cut out all these areas, and that is cool. That is quite nice. I just want to quickly put that one there for those that might seem to be looking for maybe something similar. So now I'm going to end this tutorial here, and in the next tutorial we are going to delve into material creation. Thank you.